Hi, this is Jackie, and I'm going to show you how to glue the curve on a Quiltworx pattern. Here I have registration lines, and I'm going to put a little bit of glue and match up those registration lines. I press down to seat that glue into the fabric, and then I use my tweezers to pull the stitching out. It is much easier to remove that stitching before the glue dries, rather than waiting until later. I will match up the next registration lines, take out that stitching, and now I'm going to put glue in between those registration lines along that bottom piece of fabric. So I'll open that up so I can access it, put glue inside the seam allowances, and then I'm just going to match up the edges. These curves are designed to fit perfectly. There's no easing necessary. So I just match up the raw edges. I'm not pushing the top fabric forward. I am only pushing it down because that's all it needs. It doesn't need to ease. It just fits. And once I get that, I seat the glue into the fabric so it doesn't come apart. And then I check the back side. Now I'm going to do one of the ends. I'll put glue right along the seam allowance. I'm then going to take a little tuck in the bottom fabric so that the top fabric easily meets the other side. Because these are curves, very easy to stretch that, and I don't want to do that. I then matched up the smart corner on one end, and now I'm doing the exact same thing with putting my edges together, and I'm just tapping them down. Oh, I'm getting some supervision. She's always got to be right there. That's my Ruby. I then seat the glue back down and check the back side again. Now I'll finish off this curved seam on the other end. Take my little tuck so I don't stretch anything and get the end put in place, matching up those smart corners. Those are so important to cut accurately because in the assembly, it just makes the assembly go so much quicker than if you didn't have those corners trimmed off. I'm going to match that up just like I did before. And seat that, and that seam is ready to go and sew. I also want to remove the chalk marks I made on this black fabric, marking my registration lines. Okay. So I'm using my Seam Fix seam ripper, and that little rubber end that you generally will use to take out little pieces of thread after you've picked a seam, that also will erase that chalk.